Welcome, guys, back to another team preview here on Dad's Bet Baseball, sponsored by Hall of Fame Bets. Make sure to use the code DADS. That's going to get you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month. It is baseball off season. Guess what? You know what's great about Hall of Fame Bets? You can literally go and research any team, any player. We use it all the time as we're kind of building the data that we need to use for these shows. So make sure to check out, again, Hall of Fame Bets. Use the code DADS to get a 7-day free trial. And Adam, we're here today to talk about your Tampa Bay Rays, who are coming back home, baby. Coming out of
Back to the
Steinbrenner
Trop.
Park. Back to the Trop, where ownership apparently still doesn't want to actually own this team. But they're back in Tampa Bay this season, so can't wait for the first, commentator to come up and say, "Oh, look, that ball hit the top of the catwalk," or whatever that stupid shit they do every year with this team.
Oh yeah.
Last year,
I forgot about how stupid that is.
it's so dumb, so dumb. This team last year, Adam, was pretty mid. They were, although so far in our preview series, they are actually the best team that we have previewed from a win standpoint. 77 wins. You can tell you that's what we've been doing so far. 77 wins. That is a 3-win difference from 2024, where they won 80 games that year. Guys that were in and out of this team last year.
Well, hold on. Also, their Pythag though was 84. It's crazy.
84.
They were supposed to be
so they were
okay.
Well, in typical Tampa fashion, the analytics say that this team should be better than it actually was. So let's talk about some of the guys that came in the door and came out the door. So they bring in former Mets phenom Steven Matz, who I guess this is his ninth team. Had actually a pretty decent season last year, 2.97 ERA, which is, I guess, a little interesting. Only threw 78 innings, though. They brought in also former Met Cedric Mullins, who they couldn't wait to get his ass out of Queens. So they brought him in for a 1-year deal. Jacob Melton in a 3-team trade with the Pirates and the Astros. So that night where Kyle Tucker went to the Dodgers, all of the contrarian baseball analysts were like, whoa, wait, Jacob Melton going to the Rays, big deal. Jake Fraley also brought in on a 1-year deal. Shipped out a lot of guys, though, man. So Brandon Lowe, he's out of here. Shane Baz, which I'll be honest, man, I completely forgot this guy is on Baltimore's rotation until I think it was last night. I was listening to a Rates and Barrels, and they were talking about him being part of the rotation. So he's gone. Josh Lowe. Sorry, did I say Brandon Lowe? Josh Lowe.
Both of them are
bad.
gone.
I was looking at your
No, they're both gone.
Sheet,
no,
but both of them are gone.
You got them right.
You're right. So they're both gone. That's right. Okay. So both the Lows. Pete Fairbanks, Jake Mangum. Jake Mangum. Mason Montgomery, Adrian Hauser, who was people kind of forget he was kind of a darling at the deadline. Yeah. As far as starting pitching, it was such a weird move that they brought him in, and now they got rid of him. Christopher Morel tried to resurrect his career. That was unsuccessful, maybe because he just isn't that good. And he's off to the Marlins. And then you've got Cameron Meisner with a trade to the Royals. So, boy, that's a lot of changes on this team. What was your impression or thoughts on this team last year?
Junior Caminero being excellent.
Yes.
Yes. Like being like as advertised, he was really, really good. And I think I want to credit Rates and Barrels for this one. It must have been where I heard this take, but his I was really high on him overall, but then his home road splits, because they were playing in a sandbox, were completely different. Like he went to I think 213 when he was batting 213 when he wasn't at Steinbrenner Field. The other thing I remember about this team is they kind of out of the gate, they had a problem because Shane McClanahan never DOA, and he now will have not pitched in 2+ years. So we'll see what happens. This is becoming like a Kyle Bradish situation, or actually it's really becoming a DeGrom situation. But the other thing with this team is just that all of their pitchers last year were guys that you and I started noticing, hey, so-and-so's probably on a pitch count. So-and-so's probably on a pitch count, because they were all guys who had had injuries over the last few years. And we, forgive me because I completely forget what the guy's name is. He writes for CBS Sportsline, but he had pointed this out, but like every single pitcher on the Rays was probably going to wind down. So he started taking under outs on Pepio and under outs on Rass and under outs on all these guys. So yeah. Also, the other thing about them, when they acquired Griffin Jax, who is like,
yes, forgot about that move too.
Weird.
Yes.
But yeah, that's kind of what I remember about this team. I didn't really bet them a lot day to day. I pretty much stuck to their pitching staff here. I don't know if you mentioned it, by the way, they acquired Gavin Lux too, who is
I should have also mentioned, I guess, because these were trades also during the season last year, I didn't mention all these guys, but they did trade Danny Jansen. They traded Curtis Mead, and they did trade Taj Bradley to Minnesota, which was part of that Griffin Jax trade as well. So there was more guys that they shipped out there. You know what's interesting is, the thing that I remember, Adam, about this team was you and I actually bet this team to win the AL East at one point at the beginning of June last year, because I believe they were plus 650 at that time. And we both had said we think that the Yankees are vulnerable for this division. We also, thankfully, bet Toronto at 7-1 at the same time. And that obviously came home and cashed for us at the end of the year. But really, it was like right after that bet, both of those teams went in completely opposite directions. The Rays had a stretch of, they went 7-18 between June and July. So that was essentially what nuked their season at that point. Because again, like early June, they were sort of a talk of, hey, Rays seem to be putting things together. They've got, all of this pitching depth. They are a team that is driven by analytics, and they had to kind of figure things out through the first couple of months. And then they ended up obviously still becoming extremely sort of mid by the end of the season. So, I also remember betting on Caminero quite a bit. The only other one I would throw out there that you and I talked about a lot was, the group of the StatCast heroes, which would be Jonathan Aranda. I would also throw Addison Barger into that bucket, where you go and you look at like their batted ball metrics and you're like, holy shit, this guy's batting 12 or 13% barrel rate, 54 something percent hard hit rate. Why are they listed at 5-1 for a home run? And there's usually a good reason that they were listed at plus 450 or 5-1, even though that most of the StatCast stuff there had looked pretty good for them. So that was my only other thing that I really remember from this team last year.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Arenado. Yeah, who's on the same? He was on the Team Mexico with Rosarena, and he. Like his splits are so all over the place. That's the thing, is that this team didn't have like a real identity like they usually do. It was like Junior Caminero, and then just like borderline NPCs. Like I didn't know what they were what they were doing with Chandler Simpson, because the guy can't hit, but he stole like a ton of bases. Yeah. This team, I've never been like one of those Rays nerds. I've just never been able to get there. I look at this roster and it's fine. It's like, again, I look and I'm like, oh, Junior Caminero and Jonathan Arenado. And I think I would maybe, I just don't know what I want to do with this team, because they're going to be moving into, because all these guys who took these leaps forward, took them forward in a ballpark where it's 230 feet to the left field.
And I think the other thing for me with this team is like, if you go and look at their starters, and if you just sort by expected ERA, so you're going to see that they have a decent amount of red if we're looking at handy graphs for this, for instance, right? But out of the starters here, I think they have like almost 10 or 12 of these guys that are above average for expected ERA, which is basically below 3.8. Only one of them threw over 100 innings, and that was Raz, who didn't even really necessarily pitch like a full season. So like there's a lot to me of unprovens on how these guys are going to be able to manage innings again this year. Uh, it's like a weird team. It's like a team that I feel like they have enough pieces where they're going to be like fine, but unlike some of the other teams, even like these bad teams that we're talking about right now in our series, like I don't see the ceiling on the team other than Caminero just becomes like, you know, the next equivalent of like a judge or something from a hitting standpoint.
Yeah, there's also just a lot of these guys I could see them just getting rid of midseason. Like, I don't know what Jake Fraley's going to really do for this team. Like Cedric Mullins, like you said, I feel like this is someone who they could just flip. Like when I look at their projections on the WRC Plus in this lineup, the top four, Lux 102 for WRC Plus, Yandy Diaz 130 for WRC Plus, Jonathan Arenado 121 WRC Plus, Junior Caminero 131, and then it drops to 91, 95, 76, 89, 80. So by the way, if you had listened to the Angels broadcast that we just did, Angels, everybody in their lineup has some good things there. Carson Williams, though, you have any interest in him? Buying him? He's a little ballyhooed. Rays rookies are always a little bit more ballyhooed than others, but
I
what do you
mean,
think there?
cool. He hits a lot of home runs relative to his plate appearances. He does nothing else. Like what does Carson Williams do that I'm getting excited about when he's got, at least last year, 35% outside swing rate, only a 63% contact rate? Like this just kind of profiles to me as like a Happy Gilmore type of batter. Like I'm just swinging, and when I make contact, I'm gonna go boom. But otherwise, not really making a lot of contact on stuff. So I don't have really much of an opinion on him in terms of um, putting in some any sort of like serious equity into him.
Yeah, a lot of the team that he had a 40% K rate in 106 plate appearances. Okay. So I mean,
I
Jonathan
mean, it is
Arenado,
a
by the way,
small sample for him to be fair, but yeah.
you strike
Anyways,
out 40% of the time and you're only batting 100. You strike it's pretty it's pretty bad. It's a pretty bad cup of coffee. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Okay, so then I think we talked about this, but so are you interested in buying Sugar Shane McClanahan?
I'm personally I'm not. I think he's one of those guys that it's kind of like the DeGrom situation. Like one, I don't put McClanahan in that same class as DeGrom at all. The DeGrom is to me just like a different human being in terms of pitching, uh, mastery and stuff. So like I think it's like DeGrom, there was never a question like if he came back healthy, like we've seen it. He's done this a couple of times. He was going to be great. But Clanahan, we still need to see it. So I think he's going to be for me one of those guys where you and I will probably target his under outs early on because they're going to price him at like 12 and a half and it should be like 9
Yeah.
or something stupid like that when he first comes back. And then we'll start to see, you know, if he is able to. I mean, because it's been 2023, I believe, was his size season, correct? Like this will be 3 years since he's really been uh, pitching day to day.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if they're going to try to flip some of these guys or do something with them like they did with Springs. Remember they let him go and then he went over to the A's.
Yeah.
Breaking
Oh,
news.
right. Yes, forgot about that one too.
Catherine O'Hara died.
Oh God.
Really? Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
that's a
that
bummer.
stinks.
That
That's a huge
sucks.
bummer. So, anyway, there's nothing Chandler Simpson's plus 450 for stolen base leader. No, that's a pass for me. Hit market's not up yet. There's no players that stick out, and I just don't. There's not a lot that I love about this team, to be frank. This is actually like in terms of like a nerdy Rays team, it's just not one of the ones that I want to back. So I don't know. You ready to
Does
move to
Junior
like
Caminero? Does Junior last thing on players? Does Junior
yeah
Caminero at 25-1 interest you at all for home run leader?
for home run leader?
25-1.
Yeah. I'm a little bit worried about that road split though. Like, let me
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at like his road split. I just put him on roads, like 218 on the road. Hard hit rate's still 52. Ground ball rate goes to 46%. His home and his ground ball rate at home is not good either, so it doesn't really matter. But his WRC plus goes to 100. His on base percentage goes to 266, and at home it was 356 and 160. And it's hard to say. His pull rate's just.
I feel like if they were still playing at Steinbrenner and it was still 25-1, I would feel better about that.
Yeah, it just
because I'd be like, he could legit hit like 40 home runs at Steinbrenner.
I think he's. I mean, I'm more interested. What do you have last year? 41,
45.
All right. So what is he? He's 3-1 to do that again. I kind of would rather.
I would rather bet him at home run leader than 3-1 and to hit 45 again. If he's hitting 45, then
he's 9-1. He's 9-1 for 50. No, I get it. I agree. Yeah, it's a pass. It's just that I mean, maybe I'll eat my words on this one, but that Steinbrenner field factor is something that really turns me off because there's a massive difference here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you.
He also was coming into last season. If I recall, he came into last season as like the Dominican League MVP too, and he had led
he had a monster winter. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how he does in the World Baseball Classic. Maybe he also just tears it up there too. But okay,
yeah.
Last thing with this team, win total.
Okay,
77.5. Even money right now.
Under.
Are you over or are you under on this? I am
under
also
on
under
this.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bet, but under.
Not by much. I think it's probably like they're more in like the 74
probably
to
right.
75
Yeah,
range,
70.
But I think that number is like pretty spot on.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's nobody in there that I'm interested in. What are their odds for the division? Just out of curiosity, just for fun. Not a bet. But
their odds are. This is actually kind of interesting. They're 30-1 for the A's.
Okay, well, yeah. So they're probably, and what I bet you, I'm guessing they are.
That's by the way, that kind of to me is all you need to know about their win total. You're 30-1 to win your division, and yet your win total is 77.5. Something's not right.
Right. Well, the gap between them and everybody else is crazy. Yeah, no, that's everything else on this team's a pass. Just the under wins. Nothing else I'm really interested in. They are going to be. I think I'm gonna, as usual, I'll be pretty into their pitching stuff as it goes. I'll be looking at Pepio, sneaky good K guy. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's all I got too, man. Make sure again, thank you to our sponsor, Hall of Fame Bets. Use the code DADS. Get that 7-day free trial, 50% off your first month. Also, go to Handigraphs if you want to be able to do some of this futures research as well. You can use the code HGEDGE, and that will get you a free month there. But for Adam Rosenberg, Slippin' Jimmy, aka Slippin' Jimmy, CJ is my real name here. That does it here for another team preview on Dad's Bet Baseball.